Well, you see one big play negated by a hold by number 54 there. It was what the referee signaled, but nice that they can come right back and dial up another big play. A toss to Gafford, who's been all over the field on both sides of the ball and returning. I don't know if he's really had much of a play off yet. And momentum going into the fourth quarter, back to Dowling here as they're driving, setting up on the 27-yard line. So it'll be interesting here. They've obviously been able to pass, been able to run, kind of got a couple options going. Now their offense, up-tempo offense, has been able to move the ball pretty easily. So in the fourth quarter, close game, kind of what we'd hoped for. History might not have shown that, but obviously I think we've still got a lot of excitement left.
You think? All right, Billy Battistone alongside Paul Yeager here in the press box down on the field. That was Seth Drury. You're watching dmwebcasting.com. This broadcast brought to you by Win Communications, Web Communications, and WinMail email marketing services, and better results and less work in all your web, email, and social media services. Visit wincommunications.com and winmailusa.com. Hey, want to let you know that we are following the Twitter feed tonight at Dowling Webcast. Want to let you know, hey, Avery Mason. He's playing for my alma mater and Coach Pollock's alma mater at Wartburg. They're playing tomorrow at McMurray. Also, let's not forget Matthew Formanek. I guess Coach Willis doesn't have a non-Twitter policy for the Knights. Also, Liz Smith. She says it's not quite the same watching this game online, but Liz, we're glad to have you. We're watching tonight. Emily Kalos, a big night watching this game.
Emily Kalos, big Alabama fan. She goes to Alabama now.
So she's saying hello to you.
Sure.
And shout out from Trent Simpson. He's watching the game in Cedar Falls with the UNI special teams, the Dowling Valley Long Snappers, and as they're getting ready to play Drake tomorrow, I believe. And thanks to those of you that are on the shout-out. We begin quarter number 4. Dowling leads 24-19 in this ball game, and the Maroons have the ball. Boyle is going to improvise and go up the middle and hit. They'll get up to the 20, still get 5 or 6 yards on a play that didn't look like it was supposed to be anything.
That's his just natural ability, and that is that QB read. He takes a lot of hits in the process of a game. You add up all the times Ryan Boyle's been on the ground. It's a lot, but that's the kind of player he is.
We have a whistle before the play.
Suela a little anxious to get off the ball there. False start on Dowling.
Hey, big shout out to John Williams watching tonight as well. He's watching it, and he's actually looking for Coach Pollock to see what he's wearing. Coach Pollock's got his own fan club, too.
He's the only coach in white.
That's what
so
I
if you know Coach Pollock, he's the only coach in white with a backwards visor. So he stands out down there.
Does he know something we don't, or does he not got the memo on what color to wear tonight?
I think he just likes to stand out.
Well, that would be Andy. Boyle's going to throw the football. He's got time. He goes to Rico. Caught at the 15. Spins down to the 10. Oh, a second effort, and he almost just squirted out for a touchdown. Oh, my. Rico. Man, he's a fun player to watch. Played at East last year. Made the transfer after winter break. Just wanted a chance to play. They are excited about his speed. When you see him on offense, he's usually going to get the ball. That's been the case, but now you're also out there as a decoy. High snap. Give to Chase Dowell. He's up to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Maroons. Touchdown, Chase Dowell. 8-yard touchdown for the senior. He wants this game just as bad as anybody.
That's a great answer by the Dowling Catholic Maroons after Valley goes down, gets the, drives down, ends up having to settle for the field goal, and then Dowling gets the ball right back and marches right down the field. Just an overall great performance by that offensive unit. Everybody contributed, everybody did their job, and that was a great drive. Glad to see it come away with 7 points, well deserved.
The extra point by Nick McClellan is up and good. As we are in the fourth quarter, 11:05 to play. Maroons lead now 31-19. DM Webcasting is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet of Waukee at 755 West Hickman. Out there in Waukee, they are trusted for generations to deliver high-quality Chevrolet cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Find them at SchottenkirkChevy.net. and also Bob Oliver Heating and Air Conditioning with 24-hour emergency service and equipment. Beat the heat and stay warm all winter with Bob Oliver Heating and Air Conditioning online at boboliverheatingandair.com.
Real quickly, I just got a text message. Harrison Farrell, who played last year, is at West Point Academy. He's watching out in New York, and I give Harrison a lot of credit. He decided to join the Army, and he's a very brave individual. Got to know him really well last year in wrestling and in rugby, and I wish him the best. And, again, one more, if you don't mind. This one could actually get me in trouble, but my girlfriend's watching. I told her I'd wish her a happy birthday. She's been a good sport with football coaching starting, so I'm proud of her. So happy birthday, Marty.
We could use a spotter in the booth. If you want her to come up, she can point at things, and maybe I'll actually get some names right every once in a while.
I get told what to do enough. I don't need to be told what to do.
You're not even married yet, son.
Yeah.
We won't bring that up.
I don't think she's going to like that comment either, but that's okay.
Nick McClellan kicks it through the back of the end zone. Down on the sideline is Seth Drury and Seth Savis. Oh, speaking of getting married, congratulations, young man, on your engagement this offseason.
Thank you. We celebrated the minus 1 year anniversary as we have some planning to do before next August. But thank you. So, last drive, I think Gafford was relieved they scored on the very next play because I didn't trip him up on the sideline. That was the big old turf monster. He did a great job spinning out of a tackle by Hanold from Valley there and getting up the sideline, and all he saw was green. I think he got a little too excited there.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. They go back with Tyus Mason up the front, and I'll tell you what, Tyus Mason is a really hard guy to bring down and proves it right there again. Gets another almost 9.5 yards up to the 29.5-yard line. 2nd and short, 10:47. Dowling leads 31-19. Tigers, good possession the last time until they got to the 5-yard line, and then the Dowling defense responded. The Tigers settle for 3. They come back now. Connor LeGrone will stay in at quarterback. He's got an I formation behind him, one receiver to the left and right. They go underneath to Gray, and Gray is going to get enough for the first down, but not much more than that. Drew Gray, who had a pretty good game against Waukee last week, has not had a lot of carries tonight, and maybe that's something Coach Swenson knows. Mason's very hard. Dowling has a hard time bringing Mason down.
Yeah, he is. He's just a hard – they're both very, very good runners, and I think Drew Gray is more of a change of pace for them to give Tyus a break, but they're both – Valley is always tough running backs and tough offensive linemen.
LeGrone under center. Play action. They're going down the field. They're throwing the football, and it's caught and held on by Dominic Daphne, the brother of DJ. Dominique's making his own name, and he gets a first down for the Tigers into Dowling territory to the 44-yard line.
It's a great coverage by Dowling, good double coverage, conversion on the ball, but an even better catch by Daphne. That was one of the best high school over-the-middle catches you can expect a kid to make.
And Devaney was there, right?
They were both. They were all over him, and he was able to not only catch a ball in the air, but hold on through contact. That was pretty impressive.
Devaney on the top side of the field with Holmes. LeGrone feeling some confidence. Going to throw the football again, but throw well short of Daphne. Coming up there, Gafford was jumping it, but playing the safe defense on that play was Eric Austin, the senior linebacker, 6'2", 210.
And Grant Boston dialing up some pressure there. He brought 2 linebackers, so Dowling rushed 6, and it kind of flushed him out of the pocket a little bit, and throwing on the run, he just kind of one-hopped it there. So I wonder if Grant will dial up a little bit more pressure as the game moves on here throughout the fourth quarter, or if he's going to be content to sit back and base because, maybe he knows that there are some mismatches in terms of speed. You want to blitz and get that ball out there quickly. That way you can't get beat down the field.
9:33 to play in the ball game. Dowling leads 31-19. LeGrone's going to go for broke on the far sideline. It's going to be intercepted by Luke Devaney at the 19. Goes backwards. Holmes can't make the stop. Devaney's still on his feet. You got to tackle him because he'll keep running to the house. Hartman finally does. Luke Devaney, the INT. Nice stop. Good interception by Luke Devaney.
And that is the first, I think that's the first bad throw LeGrone's made. I mean, that was just a ball that needed to go further. LeGrone had good protection, and he just really kind of underthrew that one, and Devaney saw the ball the whole way, was able to come back, and Holmes tried to come back on the play, but just couldn't make a tackle or couldn't make a play on the ball. Davini had good positioning, but you wonder if LeGrone comes back out and if that shakes his confidence a little bit for the last 9 minutes and 21 seconds of this game.
Dowling has the football, and now the Tiger defense has to dial up a stop. The Maroons feeling the momentum now. Davini is an impressive corner. They go with Nate Christian. He counters up. Dakota Miller makes the stop, but not until 2 yards are made. And Christian just popped up saying, you can tackle me, but I still got plenty of fresh legs. Yeah. Football is such a fun game like that.
A ton of energy. And like you said, momentum for high school kids, they're feeling it. That's, sometimes that's better than just actually being in shape. The adrenaline will carry them.
2 receivers to the left for Boyle. They're going to throw it to the near side, and it's caught by the closer receiver, Mason Magruder, and he runs into his own player before he is stopped by the Tigers, and that was Nate Spacek. 8:30 to go in this ball game. Dowling leads 31-19 as we come across 10 o'clock in Middle America. Glad to have you here on the World Wide Web, wherever you may be around that world. Glad to have you. Or if you're watching us on the rebroadcast, glad to have you. We are here for all home Dowling and all home Valley football games this year on dmwebcasting.com. Ryan Boyle's going to throw the football, air it out that far sideline, and it's going to be too tall of a pass. He goes up and over Magruder, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and the Maroons got a little bit of momentum and then hit a little hiccup in that giddy-up.
A little bit of a lull there, but, that ball, I think Magruder kind of misjudged it. Maybe a little early of a jump, but good coverage by Valley, and they're going to get the ball back here. And at 12 points with 8 minutes left, you've been around longer than I have with these games, but in a Dowling Valley game, anything can happen in 8 minutes. So
the punt is away, and it's a nice one. It's going to be taken by Sorgi back at the 30-yard line. Mason's in front of him, and Sorgi's got some room, but Mason cannot contain Jake Luton. Well, not many people can contain Jake Luton. And let's go down to the sideline, Seth Drury, for another report and find out what's happening.
Thanks, Paul. LeGrone on that pass, he threw the perfect post pass, and the next one had Holmes and just underthrew it. But luckily, obviously, that interception doesn't really hurt Valley. Only that's where a fast-paced offense, kind of hurts you. If they go 3 and out, defense didn't, got the interception, didn't get a good long break on the side of the field here. Only about a minute and a half, 2 minutes ran off on the clock. We'll see maybe as if Dowling gets the ball back next possession, if they opt to slow it down a little bit, try and eat some of this clock, or stay aggressive and see if they can't keep moving the ball.
What do you think of that?
I think that's a great point, but I think and Dowling's going to continue to run their offense at 12 points. If it's inside 2 minutes, then maybe they slow it down a little bit, but otherwise they're going to continue to do what they do, I think.
The Maroons dial up the pressure. Hello, John Swisher. Connor LeGrone just met you. And now I don't know if he can quit you. LeGrone goes down, so now the Maroons are going to bring a little bit of pressure here because they're just kind of feeling out LeGrone how he's going to do. Is this the time now that if you're Coach Swenson, do you tuck it and run it? LeGrone can run the football, but you also want to build his confidence in throwing the ball.
Yeah, and you do. There does need to be some form of urgency on the Valley offense, but I think Grant's going to continue to test him and continue to bring different looks and mix up the coverages, see if they can't catch him off guard. Here comes another blitz off the edge.
And they go to Mason on after a loss of 9, and Mason gets it back and then some. He's got the first down. He's got a lot of room down that far sideline. 30 down to the 25-20 to the 18-yard line. Boom, blink, and all of a sudden Tyus Mason is by you on 2nd and 19.
Look at you. Are you calling this offense? Look at you. Just setting up the run, and that's all it was. You got a blitz-heavy team. You run a short, quick little hitter or a nice draw play, and you got linebackers out of position, and you called it. They're just a little vulnerable to the run. I think Grant Bossum will want that one back. He was just maybe a little anxious with the outside linebacker, inside linebacker blitz combo. So,
and that's something they don't like to do as a regular thing. They pick their spots, but I think that's a good call by Coach Bossum right there. I think you do continue to do it. You probably do it here. LeGrone's going to throw the football across the middle, and he's too much for the receiver, and a penalty comes in, and Rico's wondering what happened, and so are the Maroon fans on the near side. Oh, man. All right. The DM Webcasting is brought to you by the Des Moines Pediatric and Adolescent Care in Des Moines, Clive, and Ankeny. accessible pediatric care, a child-friendly environment, and responsive team of pediatricians at dsmpeds.com. Dowling 31, Valley 19, 7:02 to play in this contest. It is pass interference is the call against the Maroons. Rico's a very good cornerback. No one's going to argue that. But I have to give Coach Swenson credit. They do not appear to be intimidated by his abilities. They're going after him.
They're going to continue. He is, you know what he is? He's a very physical corner. He gets into receivers. He likes to play into bodies. And it's those kinds of corners that are susceptible to the pass interference calls. And, I think a couple of them have been a little bit more ticky-tack than others. I think Seth down there got a first-hand view, and he's kind of shaking his head on a couple of those calls. But, that's what they're going to keep doing. They'll pick on the physical corner.
LeGrone to Mason on the swing to the 10-5, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown Tigers. Tyus Mason 11 yards out, and we have a ball game again, folks. Great one here at Drake Stadium. The Maroons still lead, but the Tigers are knocking. 31-25 is your score pending the PAT, and nothing is automatic in this contest.
Nope.
This is one of the best back-and-forth Valley Dowling games I've seen in a while, probably since 2010. Connor Brevard will remember that one in the game to go to the Dome, as the extra point is up from Finn Doherty, and that one is good. So it's 31-25. Let's go down to Seth Drury on the sideline, and Seth, blink, boom, gone, Tyus Mason.
Yeah, and one name you won't hear, Blaze Nolan set that up with a block. There's one man to beat, and he cut back, found a blocker, and opened up that sideline for Tyus Mason. And you mentioned on that draw play, that's a bold offensive play call from Valley. But Bossum on the sideline here did yell at his defense, that's on us, saying, they ran the play as called, and obviously, the chess match continues between Valley and Dowling as they're trading blows here. But back and forth. I think I said there was a little excitement left, and 6:54 left. I'm sure there's plenty more.
All right, Billy, what do you do here?
Oh, you just got to go back to your regular offense. You don't change a thing. I mean, I think you got to understand that this game is far from over, and it's one big play from a completely different ball game. So you take care of the football, you run the football, and a couple short passes. I think if you're Tom Wilson, you definitely need to get Ryan Boyle involved in the offense as always. But I think part of it needs to be running the football as opposed to trying to throw the deep one, because Ryan's accuracy just doesn't seem to be where it usually is tonight. And so maybe a little bit more of that zone read.
Short kick, and it's taken by Chase Down on the hop. He escapes one tackler and gets up to the 26-yard line, and the Maroons will have it. Now, one thing, last year Valley played a very good Sioux City East team in the regular season, and that was a team that ran just as fast of an offense that the Maroons did. And the one thing that Coach had told me last year is, yes, they run a quick play, but only 25 seconds go out off the clock if it's 3 and out. You have to be careful here if you're the Maroons, because 25 seconds could go by and you've run 3 plays, and you give the ball back to the Tigers. There's 6:50 to play. You've got to chew a little bit of time, but yet still stay in your rhythm.
Right.
Here comes Dowell. Dowell is a blocker, and he gets outside, but Boyle is going to keep it. And Boyle gets a great first surge for 5 yards, second and short, up to the 31.
And to your point, I think that's always on the mind of the no-huddle. And a lot of people who are against the no-huddle offense would argue that if you're not moving the ball, it's actually worse because your defense is going to end up spending more time on the field. But, Tom Wilson has a lot of confidence in his defense, and, he doesn't mind keeping up the tempo. And I think he thinks that it's better if they can gain 3 or 4 yards of play more often than not. So
Boyle on 2nd and 5 gives it to Chase Dowell, and he's stopped behind the line. Dakota Miller blew it up, and finishing up the play for the Tigers is Connor Schramm. 6:06 to play in the contest. 31-26, Dowling leads here in the fourth quarter at Drake Stadium. Paul Yeager alongside Billy Battistone. Seth Drury's here, Ramel Slaughter, Eric Fishbeck. We're all here. James is up on the roof. He's having a great view of this one, and so are you watching. Glad you're aboard.
And everybody's on the edge of their seats for this third down. Huge 3rd and 7 here.
Crowds on both sides come to their feet here at a near full Drake Stadium. Boyle rolls out, throws. Caught by the tight end, Steenbach. He's in the Tiger territory, down to the 30 or the 41-yard line. Big play. Zach Steenblock. Move the chains for the Maroons.
That's probably the first time the tight end's been involved in the passing game tonight. John Wisniewski was such a staple mark at that position, and they found ways to get him the ball. And now the tight end's really transformed into more of a blocker, and that's a huge play for the Maroons there. Huge pickup.
Under center, they go back to Dowell up the middle. Play call that goes about 1 or 2. 5:21, clock moving. We won't be able to hear from John Wisniewski on Twitter. We do hear from his former teammate, Matthew Hawk. He's watching. They had the game last night, his debut as an Arizona State Sun Devil. 31-26, 5 minutes left to go in this good one. Boyle fakes it to Dowell. He's going to throw the football. Now he's going to go out of that safety valve of Dowell. Caught at the 40, 35-30. Shoved out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
He took a shot.
He did, from Dakota Miller.
A little slow to get up on the sideline there. He looks like he's going to be okay. He's going to try to walk that off, but the trainers are going to immediately attend to him, especially with all the concussion rules and things like that. He took quite the shot going out of bounds, so he's going to come out of the game for at least a couple of plays so while they assess what's going on with him.
Nate Christian will come in, but Nate's usually in. But we'll also see now Colin Peacock come in and have a little more role. He'll play that fullback position as Boyle is going to go into center. I formation behind him. Boyle, handoff to Nate Christian up the middle. Nice run and good hole. Gabe Hunold makes the stop for the Tigers. Short of the first down, probably third and about 1, maybe 2.
And now you see the Dowling coaches, they are doing the double hand, slow it down form. They've driven into Valley territory. They're under 5 minutes, and now you can see they are starting to tell them, slow it down. Now the play clock's at 10. Now we'll take our snap.
2nd and 3. Ball's on the 28-yard line, or the 22, that is. And that play goes nowhere. One of the guys getting off the bottom of that pile first is Cole Wymore. Cole moved from left guard to right guard this season. Is that right?
Yes.
So he's playing a key role next to Jake Curvin. Jake's one of those guys. He had that knee injury last season. They really missed him on the front line. Glad to have him back. He's a big kid, 6'4", 265. It's on the right side of your screen. They're going to go with it on short, and Boyle is going to probably get it. He does, because Nate Spacek can't make that stop until the chains are moved. But there will be enough space for the Maroons to get another first down before having to go first and goal. So you really have 8 chances from the 16. And I don't think the Maroons are going to need 8 chances to score, but you never know.
Nope. But they're content to use as much clock as they can now, under 4 minutes. Now Valley's got to be thinking about that number, not only the 31-26, but the 3:18 on the board as well.
Boyle under center. Handoff. Chase Dowell up the middle. Chase is going to scamper out inside. Cuts it back down to the 2-yard line. That's enough for a first down to move the chains. Stop the clock at 3:09, 31-26. Not saying this will end it, but this will go a long way to salting this game away for the Maroons if they can punch in and get 6 here.
Yeah, this is going to be a big score for Dowling if they can get this in the end zone.
Tiger defense has got to dial up a stop if they want a chance. They go Chase Dowell up the middle. Dowell on second effort is up and short.
Going to be about half a yard, it looks like. Maybe a little bit more, but that's not all bad to be second and goal from the 1. Let another couple seconds run off the clock, It would be interesting to see, a lot of people would say that Valley should let Dowling score. A lot of people hold that philosophy here of just letting Dowling get in the end zone and save a little bit of time, but it looks like they're going to try to dig in and try to see if they can't hold them to a field goal here.
Boyle, I formation. They go with Dowell up the middle, and he's going to be stopped. Wow, big stop by the Tigers. Let's see, coming up right there, Reese Garver, 6'1", 260. He's a big guy right there on that left side of the Tiger line, right side of the Maroon offense.
Well, now this is a huge play. You thought the third down earlier on this side of the field was going to be a big play. 3rd and goal from the 3. Because if Dowling doesn't get it, they're going to run this all the way down and take a timeout. But if Dowling doesn't get it, Valley's going to jump all over a timeout and still have at least a minute 30 on the clock, minute 40 on the clock when they get the ball back. So if Valley can hold them.
Let's go down to Seth Drury. He's got a good something to add right here, Seth.
Oh, they were just asking to take the timeout with 2 seconds left on the play clock, but the play clock stopped 11, so then they ended up just taking the timeout. I'm sure they'll talk about it here. Got a couple of options. You notice when it was third, or I believe it was second and short, they did that QB dive. When you have an athletic quarterback like that, he didn't go up the middle. He had enough time to pull around a little bit and find a little bit more than just the half a yard he needed. Be interesting to see. 3rd and 3 is a little different, a little more length to go for there, but I think dial up a couple options here.
All right, 3rd and 3. Thank you, Seth Drury from the sideline. DM Webcasting brought to you by Sports Spotlight. See high school scores all year long at sportspotlight.com. High school, youth, college, and pro digital content, news, video, and live streaming and replays at sportspotlight.com. Hey, I want to let you know, Cole Piscotti, is that right? Cole's out there. He's watching with Michael Palmy at Western Illinois. Another Wartburg connection, Bob Nielsen, was the coach of the Knights back during my time, one of the times, and he's now at Western Illinois, and so is Michael Palmy. He's watching, so are a lot of Maroon fans. 3rd and 2 from the 2. 3rd and goal. What can they do? Direct snap to Boyle around the left side, stretching out the play.
Touchdown.
He is in the end zone. Touchdown, Maroons.
Say it, when you need a big play, you go to your playmaker, let him stand up and be counted. Great job by Ryan Boyle to find the end zone.
Keller Preen could not make the stop. Connor Schramm did make the tackle, but it was 2 yards deep in the end zone. So Boyle from 2 yards out on 3rd down. But as Billy would say, the more important thing is the 1 now on the clock. A minute 40 to play.
Mm-hmm.
And the Maroons are contemplating with a timeout here because it's 37-26. If you go for 2 and get it, it's 39.
Mm-hmm.
Still 2 touchdowns. A lot's got to go your way, but you're at least now asking for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be being discussed in that huddle, but I think, if they're debating the going for 2, I think it would be under the impression that you've got a backup kicker for Valley, so the extra point is never a sure thing. And so to make it 13 as opposed to 12 might be of value. I think it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here. It looks like the special teams unit's coming on the field. But yeah, again, a great touchdown, and now with 2 timeouts, Valley's got to be thinking, we've got to get down the field quickly. You've got to save at least 30 to 45 seconds with the onside kick to really give yourself a legitimate chance. Otherwise, you end up with the kind of the duck and chuck approach to try to tie the game if you can get down the field and score. So I have a feeling Dowling's going to roll out its prevent defense to start this last drive of the game.
Nick McClellan on to kick for the extra point. Dowling leads 37-26. The extra point is blocked. The Tigers come through, and that's Connor Sorge. Pretty much came untouched from that right side.
And really, now that I'm having a chance to think about it, the 11 points isn't really all that dangerous if Valley can score, because if they can score and then get the 2-point conversion, now they're only a field goal away from tying the game. So that is actually a huge block, and I would assume that means that during that timeout they weren't actually contemplating going for 2. I'm sure it was just a personnel issue, but that could be a huge play if Valley's able to somehow find the end zone and convert on a 2-point conversion here at the end of this game, because now it's just a field. Now it's 11-point game, so still 2 possessions, but doable.
You're kicking it deep, right?
Absolutely. Yep, and I'm definitely kicking it away from number 4. I'm going to kick it as far away from number 4 and white as possible. I think anybody in this stadium who's watched this game knows that he is extremely dangerous in his hands, so I'm probably popping something up between the 20 and 10. That's what's worked for Dowling special teams so far. You talk about that, covering that kick. So, to say it goes deep, I don't know if it goes that deep or if they think they can kick it into the end zone, put them on the 20. But I'm definitely not putting the ball in number 4's hands.
So the PAT fails, blocked by Connor Sorge. Dowling leads 37-26, minute 40 to go. Nick McClellan will tee it up. Mason's back as is Sorgi. They're standing inside the 5. So we'll see what McClellan does, and he kicks it at Mason, but about 20 yards over his head and on to the steeplechase area. Let's go down to the sideline, Seth Drury, for a report. Seth?
Well, we've got a player down for Valley. It looks to be number 47 for Valley there. Checking a name,
Connor Schramm up on the D-line. Yeah.
I don't know if he's cramping. It looked like he held his knee for a little while, but I think he's just got to cramp a little bit with the heat, trying to get that leg to get straightened out. So good deal that nothing too serious as he walks off the field. But, yeah, I was wondering if they'd kick it deep there because we saw a couple pooch kicks earlier in the game, and I do think those were planned as they were able to cover one. You see McClellan has been able to boot the last two deep out of the end zone. With the wind at his back a little bit, but obviously hoping the Maroon defense here can hold with 1:40.
Tigers have the football from their own 20. Legron's going to throw the ball, go down to the right side, caught by Mason. He's got the first down. Rico makes the stop, lets him go at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 15 on that play. Move the chain, stop the clock. The Tigers have got to move quickly if they want to have a chance to cut this to a one-possession game. Minute 33. As soon as that ball is set, the clock will move at the snap. 37-26. Legron looks at his left wrist for the play, checks it off. Shotgun, Gray next to him. They're looking for Mason or someone downfield. They throw, and it's broken up. Good defense there. Intended receiver was Hartman, and Eric Austin slips out on the tight end and makes a very good defensive stop.
Hartman wanted the flag, and I thought he was going to get one. I thought Eric Austin kind of had his back arm in there, but Dowling's escaped with one, and 2nd and 10.
Hartman is on the left side of the formation, and let's see, that's Holmes and Daphne. They're going to Daphne, caught at the 38, and he's quickly wrapped up, and it's short of the first down, so clock will move. And
a lot of time. They're losing a lot of time here already.
A hemorrhaging time indeed. Mason goes to the left. We're now at a minute 8. 3rd and 8. I guess Coach Swenson saving those timeouts. High snap. They go, and they're going to try to go on the draw. And Drew Gray has it. 45-50 into Maroon territory up to the 44-yard line. On 3rd and 8, the Tigers call a draw.
And if they're going to run a play here, it's going to be either a quick play or a spike. I mean, I'm surprised they're letting this clock run because now the clock's running again. I thought they were going to get up and try to spike this, but instead they're taking a lot of time to call play in. They've already lost
5, 6,
12 seconds here.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Even since it's set. Legron looks to his left. This is what happens when you got a quarterback that hasn't played a lot. 2 receivers left. High snap. Legron pushes, gets it back. It's caught by receiver, and you've got to call a timeout now.
Wow.
Catch is made by Blaze
they want
Nolan.
They want their timeout. They haven't gotten it yet.
And still 3 extra seconds go off that clock.
I don't know. I think the time management down the stretch there on Valley side, they're going to probably want a lot of that back because they lost a lot of time getting lined up. And then even for Legron to throw the ball, 4 yards inbounds, you're not doing your team a lot of good there. You don't need 3 yards inbounds. You need to take some shots down the field with under a minute to go. So I think and you talked about it, the difficulty of having 2 quarterbacks and an inexperienced quarterback in there.
Well, I think that question's been answered tonight. I think it's going to be the senior from here. Now, whether there's someone else in the program that makes a position switch or someone at another level that we don't know about, I don't know that answer. But I think Connor Legron went a long way to being their quarterback tonight, made some huge plays. But what can he do in the final seconds here? His team trails 37-26. That's an 11-point lead for the Maroons. Mason and Gafford are down on the near side of the field. They're right there at the 40 on the bottom of your screen. Kind of fun to watch them if we get a chance here because that is just a good athlete on good athlete. Legron, shotgun, takes the snap. He's looking at Mason, but he's now going to be sacked behind the line. The Dowling defense
have to take their last time out here.
Huge stop by the Maroons and Max Morris.
They're not going to take it.
Valley's
going to let the clock run.
And that's going to be the ball game. Oh, my.
Surprising. Very surprising.
They know that it's pretty much
I don't know about it. You know, again, with a minute, I mean, they started that drive with how much time on the clock? Minute and a half?
It was a minute 8. 68 seconds.
You know, still a chance to do something with 2 timeouts, and I think that's a disappointing end for Valley, but what a game.